I've got over 100 pounds to lose. I'm down about 20 of it so far. Let's do a weigh-in today. Great, down another 2.5 pounds in 2 weeks. Don't have too much to say about it. Yeah, it's super duper slow, but it's consistent. And that's something that weight loss has never been for me. I've got a Boca spicy chicken sandwich with some tiffanyrayyt cheese and some ketchup. I think I've shown this exact meal in probably every video this week. I'm obsessed. I get like obsessive about food. I will eat it 3 times a day for 6 months and then I'll never eat it again. But I'm glad that I've been enjoying Boca recently because Impossible was getting out of budget. I should have brought some water in here with me. Okay, pause. I need a napkin and some water. Okay. So obviously the biggest factor that's making me feel less shame when people see me eat is that I'm making good choices and I just feel better about myself and my choices. Obviously that's like the number one thing. I don't think these videos would help if I wasn't doing that. But in addition to that, I do think these videos are helping because it's just exposure therapy, if you will. And yeah, even on days where I know I've made good decisions, and even maybe have been all week or for several weeks, I still feel so embarrassed when people see me eat because my flaws, my lack of like control over food is so visible to everyone. You can look at me and in half a second know what one of my issues is, and it's embarrassing. Corn is so good. I used to think that corn like wasn't very good at all and needed tons of butter and pepper and salt on it. Turns out boiling things is not a good way to cook things, and that's like the only way my mom taught me how to cook things. Vegetables and like corn. I always thought I hated vegetables and corn. Turns out they're really darn good if you just like saute them in some sauce or like some seasonings or something and don't just boil it. I just throw this in the air fryer for like 10 minutes and eat it like that. It's so good. I've got over 100 pounds to lose. I'm down about 20 of that so far. That took me 4 months to do. And it's really weighing on my patience. 5 pounds per month is good. Like that is a good amount of weight loss, particularly for, a binge eater coming from my horrific mental health state and all that. Like that's really good. But at the same time, it's like irking me that it's going so slow, that like I'm seeing everybody online fasting and doing all these things and losing 5 pounds a week. You see, it's just really hard in this world of social media for me to not compare myself to other people, but it's really important that I don't, especially other people online, because I know that most of the time I'm not receiving the full story on that, you know what I mean? And yet I compare myself anyways. So my takeaway here for this whole little thought that I'm having is that I really need to focus on comparing myself to me rather than to other people. Am I doing better than I was before? Is my mental health getting better than it was before? Are my eating habits better than they used to be? Am I losing weight now? Like, I think that will definitely help quell my frustration a little bit, because the answer to all of those is a resounding yes, and that actually really boosts my spirits. So I've got over 100 pounds to lose. I'm down 20 of that so far. And lately, I'm noticing a really exciting non-scale related victory. Is that My clothes are starting to not fit so well. I have, or better, it depends on the outfit. I have a shirt that I love to wear, but I always have to wear some sort of jacket halfway zipped up over it because I don't like how tight it looks around my belly and I don't like how uncomfortable it is. That shirt I put on the other day and I, just out of habit went to go grab a jacket, but as I was looking in the mirror, I was like, hold on. I don't need that jacket today. Like, this feels comfortable and looks nice, and I didn't have to cover it. I went out for the first time without my tummy covered, and it was a little bit of a step forward for me, which I'm excited about. And then it's happened a couple more times. Like, I was in a super rush to get dressed the other day, threw on my same black skirt that I always wear. That bitch was too big. Which in that moment, I almost brushed over how good it was because I was in a super rush to get dressed and was like, I don't need my clothes to not fit me right now. I kind of wish I had taken a little bit more, excitement for that moment because that is exactly the goal I'm hoping for. And then a third time, the cherry on top, I put on some same shorts that I always wear, a very common pair of shorts that I wear. And my friend noticed, he's like, hey, those shorts look like really baggy. Like, are those different shorts? Nope. Same shorts. They just look baggy now. I have over 100 pounds to lose. I've lost 20 of it so far. If I want to keep this up though, I really need to focus on protein. So I Googled high protein vegan meals and I found this website called Eating Well. It has a 7-day high protein vegan diet plan, which takes a lot of the work out of it. Because basically I was going through and finding one recipe here, one recipe there, and trying to build 3 meals a day, doing it kind of like that. This is so much easier for me. And I was scrolling through looking at the meal options for this. They sound really good. They sound totally like something I would enjoy eating. Breakfast, English muffin with almond butter. Breakfast is frozen burritos with tofu and stuff. These sound exactly like things I would eat, except for chia pudding. Never tried that. Kind of want to. Not so sure I'm gonna love the consistency, but you know what I mean? Like a tofu, Caesar salad with tofu. That sounds great. Sweet potato curry. That sounds amazing. So I think I'm going to give this meal plan a try. Not only is it higher protein than what I've been eating lately, which will definitely help, it also is going to just take a lot of the work out of planning, like I said, but also it's going to switch up and vary my foods, and I see a lot more produce and things like that I just really haven't been eating. Lately I've kind of gotten back on bad habits of just eating chicken sandwiches every day, all day, and that's vegan, sure, but it's not helping my weight loss cause at all. The original meal plan is 1,200 calories a day, which for where I'm at in my weight loss right now would be too little. I'm going to go with the 1,500 calorie option. So I'm going to start with going through and making a grocery list because I already know I don't have most of the ingredients that I'm going to need to make these meals. I'm following this meal plan by Eating Well. This is day 1, meal 1. Now this is meant to be an English muffin with almond butter. Now I'm gonna deviate literally right off the start. Most of the meals are gonna be pretty specific to what the plan calls for, but this one here, I'm pretty sure that if I got English muffins and almond butter for the sake of this meal plan, I would not use those up afterwards. And I don't want to waste food like that, so we're gonna deviate just a little bit. This meal plan had me get hamburger buns and peanut butter for some of the other days, so I'm just gonna sub those in instead of the English muffin, and I'm gonna have the apple that it calls for. I'll be 1,000,000% honest, y'all. This is what I think of as a snack, not a meal. But I guess that's maybe why I'm fat. So let me have my breakfast. It's peanut butter on bread, you know? Good. Very dry. This looks like dirty water. It's not. Basically, I just keep reusing the same tea bag for iced tea until, like, it really just makes tea flavored water. Now I'll replace it, you know? It's hard to chit-chat over peanut butter toast. It's very dry. Kind of like a very... What I really like about this meal plan, and this meal in particular, is that it's very, very simple. It's got a good amount of produce, protein, and whole foods. This is basically the way I ate when I very first went vegan, didn't know anything other than just like fruits and vegetables and grains, so I already know my body is gonna love this. I'm following this meal plan for the week. This is day 1, meal 2. Starting with a bowl of mixed greens, and I'm gonna add some thawed edamame. I transferred to a bigger container, and I'm also gonna add the beet. That beet actually makes it look really pretty. I've never had beet before, so I'm interested to try. I also added some cilantro now that is smelling super good. And I've also made a salad dressing to go on top. Now, the recipe doesn't actually call for lemon juice, but when I tasted it as is, I didn't like the taste of that, so the lemon helps a lot. Okay, it looks and smells good. Seems very light and healthy, but it's going to be filling because of all the edamame. Let me give it a taste. First things first is that I have never tried beet. Oh. It tastes like dirty broccoli. Okay, yeah. The lemon definitely made a big difference in here. Okay. Not a terrible meal. Definitely not my favorite I've ever had. But it's not bad. I do love edamame. Best part of the whole thing. And I'm also going to be snacking on these almonds, raspberries, and walnuts. And I will see you back here for dinner. I'm following this meal plan for the week. This is day 1, meal 3. To start, I'm frying some extra firm tofu in sesame oil. I'm going to make a sauce to go on that, so I got a little bit of salt in here, some lime juice, red curry paste, coconut milk, and some garlic. I grated 1 clove of garlic, a couple squirts of lime juice, that delicious smelling red curry paste, and a bunch of coconut milk. Back over here at the pan, I've added green onions, mushrooms, and a bunch of kale to the pan, and they suggest that you spiralize and make little noodles out of your zucchini, but I can't be bothered, so I just air fried little pieces. I'm going to throw it in like that. This is starting to look really promising, actually. I'm going to cover this and cook it low and slow to really try to soften up that kale. I added a bit of water to mine while it was cooking, so it's not quite as thick as it was supposed to be, but oh my gosh, does it smell good. Dude, this smells so good. Coconut is one of my favorite flavors. I'm going to go for a piece of tofu first, because I think that's going to be my favorite. Oh my god, that's good. Hold on, okay, let me see if the vegetables are as good. Wow. This is so good. Need rice. Wow. I'm not the biggest fan of mushrooms either, but everything just tastes like that coconut curry sauce. Wow. The kale cooks down. That's why I added some extra water in there, because I was concerned that the kale wasn't gonna cook down enough. It did though, actually. This is so good. Lunch this afternoon was not my favorite, so I'm like really happy that I like this a lot. Alright, I'm deviating from the meal plan completely here and adding a couple hundred calories worth of rice, because I understand the zucchini is supposed to be the base here, but it's not basing. Like, this desperately needs rice, so this is going to be an amazing meal. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, this meal plan calls for 1,500 calories. With the addition of my couple hundred of rice, it drops me up to about 1,700. My FitnessPal actually recommends that I eat about 1,640, I think it is, and then with exercise, I definitely will still be in quite of a deficit, even after adding those extra calories. Yeah, this is going to be so good. Let the rice soak up some of that sauce. Both zucchini and the mushrooms have kind of like that little bit of a rubbery mouthfeel to it, which, like, too much of that was starting to bother me. The rice breaking it up. 10 out of 10 on this meal, man. I will definitely be making this curry sauce many, many, many more times, because it was very simple, very quick, and now I have a whole jar of that paste, curry paste. That's dinner. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you back here tomorrow.